Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Spanish counterpart Pedro Sanchez have jointly inaugurated the Tata-Airbus aircraft complex for manufacturing the C295 aircraft in Vadodara. This is a major Make in India milestone, opening a new chapter in India's defence and space industry. The facility is the first private sector final assembly line for military aircrafts in India, and the rollout of indigenous planes is projected to take place sometime around September 2026. Speaking at the inaugural event, Prime Minister Modi highlighted the factory reflects the new work culture for New India. He also emphasized that the defence manufacturing ecosystem in India is touching new heights, and the numbers also speak for themselves. India's defence exports have increased by 30%, and we are on the path of becoming an aircraft manufacturing hub. The only thing left is developing and manufacturing our own jet engine. However, what we see today could hardly be fathomed by the average Indian 10 years ago. While India is developing its own jets, for example, the Tejas LCA, the C295 plant is undoubtedly a game changer. On that note, let's take a look at some of the specifications and applications of the C295 aircraft. Well, let's quickly show you those details which have in fact emerged about the new aircraft, of course, which is manufactured by India, the new indigenous Airbus C295. Its specifications very clearly, which you can see over here, the length is 24.46 meters. It's about 80.3 feet. Its height is about 8.66 meters. That's about 28.5 feet. Meanwhile, if we talk, of course, about the wingspan as well, the other specifications, the wing area is about 59 square meters. That's about 640 square feet. Also, if we talk about the other, of course, minor specifications, well, those are very, very clearly, as you can see on your screens. The 7,650 liters fuel capacity can be seen, of course. 21,000 kilograms is the max takeoff weight. 9,250 kilograms is the max payload. 71 troops or 48 paratroops is the capacity of this aircraft. 2 crew can also, of course, come in it. 2 crew are flying it. 20,700 kilograms is the max landing weight, and 18,500 kilograms is the max zero fuel weight of the aircraft. Well, its engine, if we talk about it, well, that's 2 Pratt Whitney Canada PW 12-7G turboprop engines is what are used by this particular aircraft. And it's also got propellers, of course, 6-bladed Hamilton Sunstrand HS 568 F5. Those are the propellers. Also, it's got a propeller, of course, of 394.94 meters. That's about 12.9 feet diameter. That's the width of the propeller. And other details about this aircraft are the cruise speed is about 42 kilometers per hour. That's about 260 knots. It's also got a range of 4,587 kilometers. That's 2,477 nautical miles. It's got a ferry range of 5,000 kilometers. That's 2,700 nautical miles. And it's got a service ceiling of 30,303 feet. That's 9,145 meters. Also, the runway required for this for takeoff is about 670 meters, and for landing is 320 meters. There are 6 armament hardpoints of this helicopter, of this Airbus C295. Also, inboard pylons of about 800 kilograms, center pylons of 500 kilograms, and outboard pylons of 300 kilograms. And of course, as far as tactical transport is concerned of this aircraft, it can be used for airlifting troops, equipment and supplies as well. Also, more strategically to remote or hostile areas. It can also be used for carrying heavy payloads, including vehicles, helicopters and other oversized cargo as well. So clearly, can be used for transport, also can be used for medical evacuation, providing critical care and transportation for wounded personnel as well. Also for surveillance purposes, of course, because it can be used for conducting reconnaissance and intelligence gathering missions. Humanitarian aid as well, for delivering relief supplies and personnel during natural disasters or humanitarian crisis as well. This is again something that it can be used for. And of course, remember, these are some of the other aircrafts which have been developed indigenously by India. The Atmanirbhar defense clearly can be seen over here. The Tejas, the light combat aircraft developed by HAL, commissioned in July 2016. Total orders already of 243 for the Tejas. The Jaguar, Darin 3 as well, also upgraded, of course, by HAL. It was commissioned in November 2012. Total orders number into 60. The Mirage 2000, also developed indigenously, upgraded by HAL, commissioned in June 1985, of course, active orders of 47. Sukhoi Su-30 MKI, that's of course been upgraded by HAL as well, was commissioned in October 2000, and 259 active orders, of course, of this aircraft have been taken. Dornier 228, upgraded by HAL, commissioned in March 1981. Total orders amount to 150 of this particular aircraft. Also, the HS 748. It was commissioned in November 1964, manufactured by HAL, being replaced by now the C295, which we of course just spoke about. Also the NAL Saras, you can see a picture of it here. It was commissioned in May 2004. Total orders number 30, developed again by HAL. The Kiran MK123 as well, developed by HAL, commissioned in September 1968. Total orders about 225, this particular aircraft. The HTT-40 as well, not to forget, again developed by HAL, in commissioned in May 2016. Total orders 106 for this. Clearly, of course, the Atmanirbhar defense program going great guns over here, as you can see. Pilatus PC-7 as well, again commissioned in May 2013, developed by HAL. Total orders are 75. So clearly, of course, another big boost has happened today for Make in India defense program. Joining us to discuss this further is Group Captain V.N. Jha, former Indian Air Force officer. We also have joining us live at this point, Group Captain M.J.A. Vinod, former fighter pilot. Also with us is Group Captain U.K. Devnath, former Indian Air Force officer as well. Group Captain Jha, let me begin with you first. What do you make of this big moment today that was achieved between India and Spain, of course, in Gujarat?
Government of India and Indian Air Force for this aircraft, which is going to be produced, maintained, and kept up in the operational status here within India with the company of Tata-Airbus complex. Specifically after we had decommissioned the Avro, there was a big vacuum for a transport aircraft, a medium transport aircraft, which can operate from the advanced air base as well. Most of the aircraft that have been in the service, they need a bit longish of the takeoff length as well as the landing length of the runway. But this aircraft, as you've already mentioned, that it is a very short landing and takeoff aircraft. It needs hardly any stretch of the runway. So it can be operated from even the advanced landing ground of various places that we have mostly in Arunachal Pradesh or Tibet or many of the LAC based area. So complement and specifications of this aircraft you have mentioned there. The very peculiarity of this aircraft is that it can cruise at a reasonably high altitude. 30,000 feet is not too much though, but it is not too less either way. But as well as it can fly at a very low altitude of treetop flying that we call it. I believe this aircraft is equipped with the radars, which is low-looking radar, ground avoidance, that can take care of the flight level, the lowest flight level, in avoiding that terrain. So that's a very good peculiarity of this aircraft, that can evade enemy radars or the air defense guns or air defense missiles. Besides that, of course, you have already given the specifications of the load carrying capacity. After we left, after we decommissioned Avro, the AN-32 has been the main horse of Indian Air Force, and that is still going on. In a condition where the upkeep is not very well, but then still it is maintaining there. Now with the Ukraine base of Antonov being bombed and that is knocked out, maintenance of AN-32 is going to be a bit difficult in the coming years. So welcome C295, and this is going to serve Indian Air Force for reasonably long time and at all platforms that we can think of. So compliment Government of India and Indian Air Force to have selected this aircraft, and more importantly, to produce it here within India. Of course, 16 aircraft will be coming in the flyaway condition from Spain, but the all remaining aircraft will be manufactured, assembled, and then operationalized here. Also, the entire maintenance, including of the engine, all first, second, third level of the scheduling maintenance of the engine is going to be here within India. So compliment to Indian Air Force for this. It is going to serve as a workhorse in the coming years ahead. It is a very well asked for aircraft that we have been long looking for.
Absolutely. Group Captain Vinod, how big a moment is this for India, and how crucial is this new facility going to be for our manufacturing capability?
On both accounts, it'll be like a great boost. I've been looking forward to this aircraft since I was in uniform. I retired very recently in 2019. We were looking at many platforms, trying to home on to many platforms, and some worked out, some came up to, final signing stages and, sort of fizzled out. But there I durust hai. C295, you can see the image behind me. A couple of days ago, I was in Baroda. Here is AN32 and here is at C295. It was a great moment for me to be there in Vadodara. I operated from this complex for many, many years, since early 90s onwards. I've operated from this complex. And also, this particular aeroplane has a wonderful weather radar, which I'm operating even today. There is no second to this weather radar. So that makes this particular aeroplane, good for weather penetration, which the erstwhile Avro did not have. Avoiding weather, especially in mountains, is a very big challenge. I've written articles on it. It's a very big challenge. In fact, the couple of earlier AN32 crashes have been because of weather. And had it had the Rockwell Collins radar that it has, which I swear by because I operate every day, is a great addition to this particular aeroplane. Also, on the ground, it turns around 180 degrees in 12 meters. That kind of turn radius probably is, very close to a Ford Endeavour, I would say. So, बहुत छोटा turn radius है. That makes it very suitable for operating in what we call it the advanced landing ground, ALG. There are many ALGs in the northeastern part of our country. Some of it is, even in the northern part of our country, where the entire maintenance of the army troops is done through by air. There is no road head towards those areas. So there'll be a great boost. What happens when the weather is bad, you are not getting maintained, soldiers भूखे मरते हैं वहां पे. तो वो जो पुराना जो खाना बना होगा या फिर they scrounge from the local village and they eat. So that situation will not arise at all because this aeroplane now can land in very short distance, underprepared runway, very short turn radius. ALGs are going to benefit out of this. Major advantage as opposed to the Avro is it can also carry weapons on the doors, the cannons on the door. So it can become like a C-130J that we already have. So it can complement C-130J in special operations. So that is again a very great addition, apart from the fact that it's a tail door. So you can open the tail and 78 paratroopers, you can push them out for a tactical military operations in an environment in which we enjoy fairly good air control. These aeroplanes can be used like we used it in Dhaka, if you remember. Dhaka was captured overnight because of the Tangail drops, and the Tangail drops were so precisely done that the enemy did not know where Indian soldiers were coming from. आगे से भी आ रहे थे, पीछे से भी आ रहे थे, air bridging भी कर रहे थे. All this was possible because of good, tactical aeroplane in our disposal at that time in 71. And today, Bangladesh enjoys the fruit of, those kind of small critical operations with which we liberated Bangladesh and the erstwhile East Pakistan. Another great advantage is for HADR, Human Humanitarian Assistance and Disaster Relief. This aeroplane can convert into a flying hospital. Dr. Jha will, be able to throw more light on how a flying hospital, can add to the strength of the country, not the armed forces alone. Imagine, you know, somewhere a huge accident happens or a rail accident happens or anywhere where you require immediate medical support, including a minor OT on board, these aeroplanes can do it. A flying, kind of a hospital can be set up where minor procedures can be carried out while the patients are being transported. During operations, I mean, there is no two ways about it. Beautiful aeroplane that can land anywhere in the desert in an underprepared runway or semi-prepared runway and pick up the wounded soldiers back to the hospital, and they will live to fight another day. Major advantage is what you covered. We are going to make it in India, in Vadodara. I went to that FAL complex. I mean, I couldn't go inside because of the preparations are going on a couple of days ago when I was there. But definitely, that is a place I want to go because Tata Advanced Systems I visited, the one which is in Hyderabad. Tata Advanced Systems, many people do not know, make fuselages in which the President of the United States travel today. तो उसका फ्यूसलाज इंडिया में बनता है. Not many people know Tata Advanced System makes it. T130 body, wing, everything. We make it not only for India, for even other customers of the world. We make it here in India, in Hyderabad, in Tata Advanced Systems. Tata Advanced Systems has one of the wonderful equipment that you can imagine, including, resin transfer molding facility, 5-axis CNCs, you name the equipment, Tata Advanced System has it. Slowly from 46%, we are going to push to 75% of indigenous thing on this aeroplane, which will make us the major player of the C295 export capability that we might get. Also, I foresee once 20 or 30 aeroplanes are inducted, Navy is also going to place their orders for this aeroplane because Navy is also woefully short of, maritime patrol aeroplanes, which this aeroplane can provide. Imagine 5,000 kilometers of radius, you are a blue water Navy, wherever you want maritime patrol to be done, and with air-to-air capability, and this is the drogue and probe air-to-air capability, which means the existing, जो हमारे पास IL-76 हैं, जो air-to-air refuelers हैं, these aeroplanes can go, take fuel from our existing air-to-air IL-76 and can stay forever airborne, carrying out maritime patrol. So Navy will definitely be interested in giving more orders. So this 56 is not the number we are looking at. I am looking at nothing less than 150, 200 aeroplanes in years to come, which will make Vadodara one of the center for, something like Toulouse in France, where, Toulouse survives because of Airbus Industries and CASA. Another important thing about this aeroplane, just for 30 seconds, is this aeroplane is made by another very big company called CASA. CASA is the one which made aeroplanes.
Absolutely. I'll come back to you. Let's get in the others as well. Group Captain Devnath is also with us now. Group Captain UK Devnath, quickly come in here on how strategically advantageous this, this new facility will be for India. How big a boost is it going to give our Atmanirbhar program? And also, how important is the C295 going to be for our fleet?
Uday, there is no doubt that Indian Air Force strategically needed an aircraft of this caliber. We were on the lookout for a tactical lift aircraft which will help us in deploying our para commandos behind enemy line during wartime in darkness. This aircraft is specially designed, adapted, suited, and modified for deployment of our troops, para commandos. It is equipped with what is called a terrain hugging radar, a terrain avoidance radar. So at night time, when this aircraft makes ingress over enemy territory, it may be over any advanced landing ground. The pilot will get a warning of approaching obstacles in front of it. May be a small ridge, it may be a small mountain. Another thing, Uday, which we have done is modification is put best of the electronic warfare kit on this aircraft, which is being developed by Bharat Electronics Limited in conjunction with HAL. So during wartime, when this aircraft is operating over enemy territory, and if an enemy radar locks on and launches an anti-aircraft missile, then the electronic warfare kit will be able to identify the enemy radar. It will be able to see that enemy has launched a rocket anti-aircraft missile, and most important, it has got shaft dispensers which will CMDS, which will be able to jam or confuse the enemy missile. Another thing, Uday, which is very, very important from India's tactical point of view, is that this aircraft specifically has been purchased for landing at airports like Leh, Daulatbeg Oldie, in Aksai and Chushul. It has got an STOL capability. That means when in emergency we need to deploy our armored personnel carriers, our BMPs, infantry combat vehicles in forward location, it will be able to carry them directly and offload them for our army in advanced locations like Dolakbet Oldi, Chushul. Another thing which is best thing about this aircraft is made for low level ingress over sea. See, when an aircraft flies over sea, it needs a certain special equipment to avoid sea waves. Sea comes up and then sea goes down. So the radar in front is modified to locate and get refraction from sea waves. So if required, even say Andaman Nicobar, we have a joint command there. Army, Navy, Air Force operate there together. Andaman Nicobar has got such a large variety, large number of islands territory which have to be defended against any mischievous enemy. That time, when this aircraft flies over sea at a very low level, it will be able to fly a very low level over sea. Yes, Uday?
Joined us now. UK Bose is also with us now, former CEO Sahara Airlines. UK Bose, what do you make of this new capacity building exercise, which of course India has embarked upon with the launch of this new facility? Of course, it's a collaboration with Spain as well. Where do you see this taking our aviation industry?
Basically, from civil aircraft side, I have not much of idea about defense aircraft. So I can tell you that it's a wonderful move this government has taken up. And we look forward for a future big expansion on
Yes. All right.
aviation industry. I'm sorry.
Please go ahead. Please complete
Hello.
your point.
Hello?
Yes, please complete your point, sir.
Yeah. So I am very certain that in future there will be much of development in the aviation sector because of this new addition and also our own capability in the aviation side, which government is taking up, and we look forward for a future expansion also.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.